Hi guys, Diva here from Bright Young Brains. We are working on a few revision questions on analytical geometry in this revision playlist. So the next question here for this sketch could easily ask us to calculate angle PQS. Now the idea with angle PQS is we can see it is way at the bottom there. So if we are going to calculate angle QPS or PQS, my bad, we need to calculate angle PQS. So with that angle there, PQS, we can clearly see it is somewhat all the way down there, far from, pieces of information and everything like that. So you actually do not want to focus too much on that angle. What you may want to do is to try and think to yourself, what do we have up here that we can link to, this triangle down here? Because if you check this triangle here, D, this point there does not have a name. However, you can see that with this triangle down here, if we have this angle there and we have this tiny angle there, we can easily get PQS by using interior angles of a triangle there. So we can see that we already have this angle here. We worked it out in the previous question, in the previous tutorial, in this playlist. The angle that we got was 165.96. So the first thing we can do is to get this tiny angle here. We can somewhat label it D1. So D1, 14.04 degrees. So we have that angle there. We can also find that angle there where we've put a question mark, because we can clearly see that as long as we get alpha, we will have the angle there where our question mark is, because vertical opposites are equal to each other. So getting the angle alpha, all we need is the gradient of line RQ, which we worked out in our previous questions. The gradient of RQ, we got it to be -4/3. So if we use our angle of inclination formula, which is this formula, we know that where the gradient of RQ is, we know that that's just -4/3. And then working out a value for alpha, in your calculator you will see that you're going to get -53.13. Firstly, your angle cannot be a negative. Secondly, our value for alpha there is an obtuse angle. So for you to get your actual value for alpha, this is what you would need to do. Now, stuff like this is very common. This is why this is a good example for us to showcase, because whenever you use your angle of inclination formula, always be mindful of what you're looking for, like which portion at this line do you want an angle for. So we know that this 53.13 is technically for this portion there where we have an acute angle. So if we want the other side, it's just a matter of working around with 180, because we know that angles on a straight line add up to 180. So this is the stuff in your math papers that you should not stress too much about, because obviously your angle of inclination formula is one formula and it somewhat works the same way. Sometimes you will just get directly what you're looking for. However, in cases like these, just play around with 180 for you to get your actual value there. So we have this angle here, we have that portion there technically, because that's also equal to alpha. So for us to get PQS, this is all we need to do. We need to remove this angle there and that angle from 180, because those are interior angles of a triangle. So if you put all this in your calculator, you're going to get there 39.09 degrees. So that's all you needed to do to get the angle PQS. Now the idea is, anytime you need to get angles that are somewhat far away from where you have information, you need to use where information is to drive information to that portion that may be remote. Even if we had to get the angle PRS, we would have done something somewhat similar. We would try and gravitate our information all the way to, let's say, this triangle up here, and then try and use that to get a value for R. So that's for a question like this one.